Welcome Digital Signal Processing Online Lecture Series. In the previous session, we have seen the unit Discrete Fourier Transform, its properties and some examples based on that. Now in this session, we are going to see the next unit, which is FFT, Fast Fourier Transform. Now in this session, we are going to see the introduction of FFT. So first of all, let me tell you that FFT is the extended version of DFT. That means for more number of points. That means if n point DFT is there where n is in larger number, then if we want to find the DFT in very less time and effectively, FFT approach is used. So what is FFT? What are its structures? And what are the radix to DIT FFT and DIF FFT algorithms in this session? And in this unit, we are going to see the different examples based on that. So let's start with the introduction of FFT first in this session. So first of all, let us see efficient computation of DFT, which is called as FFT. So you can say that FFT algorithms are those algorithms based on DFT which gives the efficient computation of DFT. So when calculating DFT, as always we calculate n point DFT, that means 8 point DFT, 4 point DFT as we have seen in the previous sessions. We have seen the 4 point DFT matrix method, we have seen the formula method, we have seen the circular convolution where n indicates the number of points for the DFT. So we can say that n equals to r raised to v, where r is the radix or base for the FFT algorithm and v, it stands for number of stages for FFT algorithm. So if we consider that we have number of points given, let's say for example n equals to given to us is 8 and it is asked to do for base 2 algorithm how many number of stages required to design this FFT. We need to solve according to this formula and we need to find the number of stages required to find the computation of DFT, which is FFT. Okay, here in this session only we are going to see radix to decimation in time, radix to decimation in frequency. So what does radix indicates? That radix indicates the base for that. Let's say for example if we take n equals to 8 and if we take radix that is base 2, what will be v? So that will be n, that is 8, that is equals to r, 2 raised to v. So 2 raised to 3 gives us 8. That means this says that number of stages required for FFT is 3 based on this formula. So n equals to r raised to v is the important formula to understand FFT algorithms or for the data given to you to find the number of stages or to find the number of base or number of points for that. So let us consider some examples for that. So let us see first data. For radix 2, if we want to compute 8 point DFT, that is n equals to 8, as we have seen earlier, 8 equals to 2 raised to v, which will give v equals to 3. That means number of stages are 3. So here if you want to compute the FFT, we need to have 3 stages where input is given to first stage, output of this first stage is given to the second stage, the output of the second stage is given to the input of third stage, and then at the output side we will get the combined output of this FFT system. This is how we can design the FFT diagram or FFT structure. Let us consider one more example. Here the data given to us is to find the number of stages required if n equals to 16 and radix 2 is used. So let us see how we can solve this. So here what is given to us is, given to us n equals to 16 and radix 2, that means base r is given to us, that is 2, right? So we know that the formula for this is n equals to r raised to b, where n given to us is 16 and r is 2. That means we need to find the number of stages required, that is b for this. So what it will become? So we will have b equals to 4 to make it 16.dft. Okay. So here the number of stages required are 4. Okay, that means what we need to have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4, to which the input is given, and at the output of stage 4 we will get the output for this n equals to 16 FFT algorithm. Okay, this is how you can find the number of stages or radix or number of points in the particular DFT for FFT computation or FFT algorithm. Now, it may be asked to your shorter marker question or short questions where 1 mark question is there and it is asked you to find the number of points where radix and number of stages are given to you. You can find using this formula. So this kind of examples are useful for you for such 1 marker or 2 marker questions, that means short questions in your examination. So you need to target this formula and based on that the data may be varied. Okay, so it is quite easy. Let us see one more example. So the next example is to find the number of stages required if n equals to 16 and base given to us is 4. So again we are going to do the same procedure. So let us start with this data which is given to us. Here what is given to us is n, that is equals to 16, and r that is given to us is 4. Okay. So using the formula n equals to r raised to v, we can say that n equals to 16, r equals to 4 and this v equals to 2, right? Because 4 raised to 2 will give 16. So here v, that is number of stages, are 2. Okay, that means we'll have stage 1 and stage 2. Input to this is given to S1 and then the output is given to the input of S2, and here at the output of S2 we'll get the final computation. Clear? Let's see one more variant of the example. Here it is asked to find the base, that is R, if n equals to 64 and v equals to 3. So here base is to be asked to find out instead of number of stages. That means number of stages are given to you. You need to find the radix or else base for that. So what you will need to do is, we need to know the formula, that is n equals to r raised to v, where r is not given but n and v are also given, right? So same way we can find using this formula, that is n equals to r raised to v, where n equals to 64 and r is to be found out and the power of this is 3. Okay. Now what will be the value of r? So here to get 64 and the power 3, we will get 4 into 4 into 4, that means 4 into 4 16 and 16 fours are 64. So we can say that the base is 4, right? So we will need to use radix 4 algorithm or radix 4 computation of DFT, right? Now in this syllabus you have radix 2 algorithms. In radix 2 you will have DIT FFT and DIF FFT structures. So I hope that to find the base or to find the number of points or to find the number of stages using this formula is clear to you now. Whatever the data is varied, you are able to find out the third, that is unknown data. Clear? So now next let's see the based on the discussion 2 algorithms. So we have seen that the number of stages and number of algorithms or number of bases or points, how it is to be find out. So based on these observations or based on these divisions, there are 2 algorithms for finding FFT. The first one is radix 2 decimation in time algorithm, and the second one is radix 2 decimation in frequency algorithm. Now, as we have seen that radix 2 indicates what? It indicates the basis for that, right? That means over here radix 2 indicates the base for that. So here it indicates R, that is 2. Here also indicates R, that is 2, that is radix 2 is used. If radix 4 is there, the R is 4 and likewise. So radix 2 decimation in time, it stands for DIT-FFT algorithm. So whenever it is asked in your exam to obtain DIT-FFT algorithm, it means that decimation in time fast Fourier transform. Same way, DIF-FFT, that is the second one, that stands for decimation in frequency fast Fourier transform algorithm. Okay, so these are the main two algorithms that we are going to see in the next upcoming sessions. We will see the structures for radix 2 decimation in time algorithm, and we will see the structures of radix 2 decimation in frequency algorithm. Alright, we will call it as butterfly structure, and why we call it as butterfly structure, that we will understand after seeing the structures of radix 2 FFT and radix 2 DIF FFT. Okay. So I hope that the formula and based on that the examples are clear to you now. These are the references. You can refer to the textbook and according to the GTO syllabus. In the next session, we are going to see the different structures and the examples based on that. It is very important because the inputs, how it is given, how the stages are defined according to the number of points, and how the output is calculated to each and every stages, that we are going to in the next session. Thank you. Thank you for listening.